live. Awesome.
Yeah. It's been a minute, right?
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
I'm not saying that to be like, oh my God, where have you been? Why are you ruining my life?
Oh my God.
No,
I mean, if you said it'd be fine.
things happen.
Just be honest.
All right. Yeah.
Oh my.
So, so preliminary for a painting. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, just for fun. I actually saw this. I don't know who the artist is. But I saw it and it was in old school comic book style. You know where all the they have all the dots because the way it was printed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna try to do a realistic version. So I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, I guess.
We will see.
What about you?
I was gonna do some figure drawing. I finished the pencils of my comic that I was working on. So it's all drawn. So it's in
Mm-hmm.
inking stage. So I don't really have anything else to draw as far as comic pages. But
Oh.
I've got a few other things here. But I wanted to do some figure drawing. So, you know, do some of the old classic Rob figure drawing bullshit.
Naked women.
What in the hell makes you think that is what I'm gonna do? That is insulting.
I'm sorry. Were you offended right there?
That being said, that is 100% what it is.
I knew it.
You know me or something like that.
I knew it had to be a little bit of the old, you know. But you do it so well.
Well, I
So
appreciate it.
offense.
Well, it's kind of an easy subject for me to draw while simultaneously chit chatting with you and chit chatting with everyone in the comments. You know what I mean? I'm not like having to like focus too much. It's just
Mm-hmm.
curving lines and shit. So speaking of Steven, what's up? Mauricio, what's up?
What's up, Mr. D-Man? I see.
Yeah.
Steven.
I think some of these names you may not know yet. The Steven and Mauricio have been hitting up the live streams with me for a minute, but I don't think they must be names that you remember from when we were doing this on the regular.
I don't. Well, I don't know. Steven's name looks familiar. Yanis? That seems familiar, but okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just full of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I was telling them on a live. I said, "Well, it looks like we might be doing a live stream. I'm going to be doing it with my, my buddy who used to do this with me extensively." So I kind of explained, like, we've been friends. We used to do this all the time, and things, situations make things difficult sometimes with timing. But I was like, everyone should come by. Jessica's reasonably awesome. I mean, she's kind of okay, I guess.
All right.
You son-
I'm kind of okay. That is true. That's a good way of putting it. That's funny. Yep, yep. I see that I do get a lot of messages from the Discord that pop up. I don't always know what's being talked about, but I have seen that it's been popping off a lot lately.
Yeah, it should be over 100 people at this point on the Discord. A lot of conversations and art projects and things like that going on over there. So that's always
Yeah.
fun. Glad that's working. I can't remember. I think it was Gayton who suggested it, and it never occurred to me to
Oh, for the Discord. Yeah.
start
Yeah.
that. I know we've had this conversation, and it's him or Mark, but pretty sure it was Gayton. And it's like, oh, I should do that. You're right. And then been a fun thing. Again, I don't interact on it as much as I would like to, but trying to maintain everything, you know,
He's
it's only
he's
so
just
much
too
time
good
in
for
a day.
it. He's too good for it. He's like, I know this is kind of like for my channel, but I'm too good for Discord, guys.
Yeah, that's you got my number. You know what's up. Right.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Just call me Steve. Less formal. All right, Steve. Know a lot of Steves. It's a good, solid name. Um, 5 people, no likes. Come on, people. Mr. D man. 2 likes and rising. Yes, yes.
So is the thing you're drawing just a face of like just not it's not like anybody in particular, it's just a face that you're gonna do in a particular style?
Yeah, it was just when I saw it actually was a comic book. I don't know if it was actually like a comic book piece, but it was in that style. And don't know who the artist was. I tried to figure it out, but it was on Pinterest and I was really struggling to figure out if it even said.
Yeah.
But um anyway, no, I thought it was neat looking and it was in the old school style comic book. And she's got like the 1940s hair and look to her, but it had all the the dots in it. I thought, oh, maybe I'll try like a more like realistic version of that.
Yeah, that's
So,
like the result of the old school printing method with the colors. It gives it the
hmm
and it's one of those things where it's like some people probably used to think of it as like it just makes it look cheap. Like you could tell the way it printed it, but then it's become like a nostalgic actual kind of art form. Like when it looks that way specifically, it becomes something that people like. I want that look. It gives it such a charm.
yeah, I it gives to me it's like atomic era, atomic age look,
Yeah.
which is pretty neat looking. But I'm not gonna attempt to do that because I don't even know how I would, and I think I'd get mad. Have my phone in my pocket, cooking dinner, be right back, listening only. That's funny, Steve. Um, but I thought maybe I liked the face, so I don't know. We'll see if I can make her look as charming as she was. Kind of getting some colors down, give her rough it in here, and then I'll try to be more detailed here.
Is this the first kind of bit of art you've got to fart around with in a minute?
For my mom, I did a ocean, which it's not my favorite, but I did an. Wow, you really popped that out quick. Damn.
That's what she said.
Like, man, I just look up and you're just like, anyways, here's a full nude. Um,
Yeah.
no, so I I've been doing. I did a beach scene for my mom for Mother's Day because she loves anything beach themed. Now I hate drawing water. I hate it, hate it, hate it. It's as bad as hands.
I remember. I think I've seen at least in part. You did show that to me. I remember the beach thing. I'm pretty sure you showed it to me.
Yeah, I really hated it. Did not want to do it. But she's wanted one for so long. And I've done a lot of art for my other family members. I've done so much for my dad. Of course, he's an artist. And he's been getting back into painting as well. And anyway, I said, well, I should probably do this for her because it's not really nice of me to be kind of excluding her just because I don't like the things she likes as far as art. Like, I, not that I don't like looking at those pictures, but I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, making like it's one thing to like a thing, but I know like I don't want to make that shit because it's a pain in the ass.
Exactly. And that's kind of where I was. So I did it though. And then after I did one for her, my dad went and showed me up by also doing a lighthouse version of the one I did.
Yeah, you
Which
showed that to me. It looked really good.
he's like, well, no, this one's different. It's a rocky shore. I was like, Dad, you son of a bitch. You did the same thing I just did.
Son of a bitch. For years ago, you kind of called me out for what you perceived as me trying to one up you, where you had done a drawing of a particular girl in a like an outfit, and so I
Oh,
went
yeah.
and was inspired and kind of drew the same thing, and I was like, "I think
Mhm.
it's awesome." And you're like, "Way to show me up, you dick." I was like, "Wasn't my intention," but I guess I can see how it might seem that way.
Oh, you know what you were doing. I was like, "Wait, so I really liked that outfit you did. Look at this much better executed, depiction of it." I was like, "Gosh, just leave me alone, man."
It was 1,000 years ago too.
I know, and I still remember it to this day.
Like the pain is still fresh.
I have the one that you did of it, actually. You're like, "And as a token, a reminder of how much better mine was. Here, keep this one."
Like this is a reminder of my pain.
Yeah, drawing water's a pain. I feel like for me, anyway, it's I don't know how to make waves look realistic. Like I've seen some Japanese art where it's obvious the water is not like it doesn't look realistic, but it's very artistic. I feel like I could draw some waves like in that style,
Yeah.
but trying to make it look, I don't like it's moving, like it has movement. Really, I just struggle with it.
Yeah, I don't know how I would obviously I don't know how to paint, but I feel like it might be like a kind of a case of just kind of getting these shapes in there. And then I've seen some painting where are doing it, and then it seems to come to life when they take like the white paint at the last step and add like the frothy white caps of like the where the water's like rising up and splashing. Just adding those white highlights suddenly made the whole thing just pop. It's like, oh, it's just adding that little highlight and it's perfect.
Right.
If that makes sense. But that being said, we've all seen a lot of artists where you see someone do it and it looks so simple. But to get to that level of understanding to make it look simple is really complicated. It's a long journey to make something look that simple.
I'm sure it's just a for me. And look, was it the best painting I've ever done? No, not in my opinion. Was it a learning experience for me? Absolutely. I actually think at the end of the day, I did okay on the water. I definitely kind of changed things to make it easier on me, but I did try to do like a lot of the white, kind of to depict that movement of where there's splashing and there's froth and there's some movement. Now, some of them look at it now and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Should have done that. But it definitely was a learning experience. She seems to have liked it. She's framing it and stuff. So I'm sure I just need more practice at it.
Good. It's just you don't get too much opportunity to do as much as you'd probably like to do. So
Right.
feel the moments that you can.
Sure, sure. It's true. I need to make it more a priority, but I feel like I always think I'm going to, and then I don't. So
Oh,
that's on me.
you gotta I mean, you're a mom with a bunch of kids and you're doing school and like where do you squeeze anything in? It's
True. Yep, school's actually back in here pretty soon here. The
dang it.
classes are all registered. Fun times. What have you been up to lately?
You know,
What?
I've had some streaks of bad luck that's just frustrating the shit out of me. Like, about got
Oh,
scammed a couple months ago. That's the thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then about a month ago I took my car in to get it registered and I'm like, I need an oil change. And then they found a part that was cracked and it was like, this is cracked and it's leaking oil and coolant into your engine. We got to replace that. So a $200 job became an $800 job, and that sucked. And then my
Oh.
water heater is on the fritz again, and I haven't had hot water since last Friday, and so
Rob.
I've been spending all kinds of time trying to get it fixed and put back together, and even got a replacement part from work and put it in, but that didn't work. So I'm actually kind of trying to plan to just replace the whole fucking thing, but I gotta get I gotta rely on the help of I gotta have somebody come help me get the thing out because it's big and heavy and I can't do it on my own.
Mm.
And so I'm trying to coordinate that with a friend sometime. And My car was making a ticking sound. I took that in about a week ago, and they're like, "Yeah, your front CV axles both need to be replaced. That's what's making the noise." So I had to do that, and I had the spark plugs changed, and the coolant system flushed, and the brake system flushed, and that cost me $2,700.
What? Rob,
Yeah,
what is going on?
no, and you know what sucks is if I would have been scammed and lost all my money, I'd
I know.
kind of be okay. But for the first time since I've moved out since my divorce, I have to go into debt. I have to like put money on a credit card that I don't have to immediately pay it off. Now, I have a roommate that pays me rent every month, and so I'll be able to pay it off pretty damn quick, you know,
Yeah.
just like ugh, it's like I'm like, what's next? And I think what's gonna happen? My washer and dryer will go out, or my fridge will break, or some shit. I'm like, or my roof will start leaking again. I'm just like catastrophizing. Like, well, I've been sailing through a river of shit in terms of like financial stuff. I'm like, well, what's next?
That sucks. My sister-in-law is kind of going through the same thing, actually. Um, con- Mr. Man, congrats to the Pacers, Jess. They almost, they did almost do it. They almost did it, and then they just ate at not in a good way. The last game. I'm not the biggest. Really fast. I am not the biggest Pacers fan. I used to be when I was a teenager. I lived in Indiana. I was a big Pacers fan. And then the old Malice at the Palace happened, and I was a big Reggie Miller fan. And then all of that just kind of went to crap, and I just stopped watching. Now, my siblings, they're diehards. And so that was a real rough run. I don't think my brother was okay. I don't know if he's okay now or not, but I was gonna say my sister-in-law, I actually went out to Indiana last week.
Right.
Well, I guess the week before last, but I was there the most of last week. I drove her family out because, ironically, her husband and I guess this isn't that ironic because I said, "Hey, I'm moving." Her husband needed a job. I said, "We're really good friends." I said, if he can't find anything out here, which she was struggling to, I was like, "You could look out there." Ended up finding something out in Indy, and then they ended up moving to a small area. So I helped drive them out there, all their belongings and stuff. And they had purchased this house and they had seen it. I mean, it's not like she spent a lot of time in it, but they had seen it. Put all the money they made off of this, or most of the money they made off of their house, they sold out here on a down payment on this house out there. Well, they get out there and it has been nothing but problems with this house
Oh,
since they moved out there. I mean, we're talking mold
ooh,
everywhere.
that's rough.
Yeah, in every nook and cranny, there's leaking. It has a well, and today the water started turning a very dark rust color. They had inspections done and everything, but it just seems like these were things that couldn't have been caught, maybe potentially hidden by the previous owners.
Yeah.
I mean, she is just obviously
uh,
beside herself about it.
Yeah.
So it has been really rough. And she just said, she lost her house that she loved. She kind of lived up there by you, and she lost her home she loved. Had to move to a smaller place. This place had to move to area she's never lived before. And she was just like, where's my break at? Like, when do I get a break? Because I'm hemorrhaging money into this house.
That's rough. Yeah, the worst thing is, like, you just wanna move into a house and be able just to go home and relax and chill and not have it, like, falling apart around you and be a giant money pit.
Yes. Yep.
That's ugh, worst. Well,
Yep.
my roof started leaking here again a couple months ago, so had a tarp up on it again for several months through the winter. So I had to have Danielle come over and crawl up on the roof and recoat it for me because it's such a flexible roof. My big dumb ass shouldn't be up there on the roof like to my roof. I was like, "Hey Danielle, you only weigh like 113 pounds. Well, you wouldn't my roof wouldn't even register you up there. Will you come and recoat my roof?" And she's like, "Of course I will." She's like the best. She showed up and spent a big chunk of the day up there recoating my roof, and
That's
I
awesome.
have like nightmares of my roof leaking water and collapsing in on me.
Mr. D man, everybody's going through crap right now. This is a transition period. It does feel that way. It feels like everybody I talk to is in arguably some of the worst, like just some of the worst times of that they've had. Maybe in their adulthood, maybe not the worst, but they've had in a long time.
I want to make sure I mention Flower Girl says, "Hey, I finally get to watch your live. Hello, how are you?" There's this other
Flower
I'm hoping
girl.
that this other person joins. She's this young. She won't tell me her age because she wants to kind of keep it secret. She's a young kid. Her name is
Okay.
Abby, and she's just an artist, and she's joined my live several times, and she's just kind of a fun little bubbly person. I was like, well, you should try and join me on Thursday because my good friend Jessica will be here, and you'll. So hopefully she'll jump in here. She's been kind of a fun little new addition, and I always have to make sure to remind people. Remember, this is a kid, so everyone kind of you know maintain proper.
Keep it PG or G. I don't know. What are you supposed to do with kids? Which one's the appropriate one, I guess? Keep it appropriate.
Yeah.
Andy is in here. I'm back. Nice to meet you, Jess.
That's
Nice
who
to
I
meet
was talking
you.
about. That's the person I was just
Oh,
discussing.
Addie.
Right.
Addie. Okay.
Patty, I was just saying, I said I was hoping that this new viewer shows up. I was just telling her about you, Addie.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
so
just
funny.
new to the channel and she's been showing up and she's fun and um so yeah, Addie's fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, perfect timing there.
Right? I'm like, she'll show up. Bam. There she was.
um, yeah, wow, Rob, you've drawn the whole person the time I've taken to paint, two eyes. I'm not even done with them either, so.
You're painting. It's a whole other thing. But anyway, yeah, I mean there's been some challenging times where I've just had to like stop and just kind of all right, just take a breath, but, it I it's mostly just financial kind of woes, but everything else is kind of okay, and, got myself lucky. Uh, my, oldest boy, he's gonna turn 13 here, like, next Tuesday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for real. He's so big. He's getting to be so tall. I keep getting all these Facebook memory notifications of when he was just
Mhm.
little perfect little beautiful little boy, and I'm like, "Where's my little baby boy? He's just doesn't exist anymore." It's this weird thing where that cute little 2-year-old version of him, it's like he's gone. He doesn't exist. He's turned into a big 13-year-old, almost teenager. And it's like, oh, it's just it's the same person, but it's just not the same person because they're just so different. And I'm like, I wasn't ready to give up my little boy yet. You
Aw.
know what I mean? I mean, you get it. You know what your
Yep,
boy or
my son's birthday is tomorrow or Saturday. Moo. I can't even talk. My oldest son.
yeah. He's what, 12?
Yeah, he'll turn 12. Yeah. My stepdaughter, she turned 14 last month, which is just crazy. It's wild. I can't even believe it some days. And I feel like time is just slipping away, like you were just saying.
For real. So, and with
Oh,
that time slipping away thing, I'm always like, grab the moment while you can, make the art while you can, make these damn comic books while you can. Yeah.
yeah, I know. That's true. It was interesting. I was talking to my dad because I was out there and I actually got to see like where he was working. Like he is done. I don't really know exactly how it works. So, but he's doing like a partial retirement where he's withdrawing retirement, but he can work part time. Um, and then he's planning on just working on art. He wants to get back into it. There's a local place where he can display his art if they can choose to, and he can sell it. And he just wants to do, you know, anything he wants to do. And we were talking about it. And I said, I think that's the problem I'm having is I have such little time to do art when I do it that I have a hard time wanting to make other stuff that other people want me to make to try to sell it.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I said, it's interesting because I remember Rob, my friend Rob, and I've talked about you to him before. I was, he's always like, I think there's a few times he'll do things that are commission. Like I know I like Fan X and stuff. I said for the most part, he makes the books he wants to make, and then he just whoever wants to buy them, whatever that community is, that's who he sells them to. Like he's like, I just feel like I just want to make what I want to make. And then if somebody likes it, great. If they don't, that's fine too. I don't waste my time doing stuff I don't want to do.
Yep. It's a hard position for an artist to be in. Like, if you want to make money at it, if you're not any kind of a name or had a big break, you have to make stuff that other people want to make the money at it, and your heart and soul is not into it. And then if you make the shit you love, there's most people don't give a shit, you know?
It's true. It just depends. I feel like you might have somebody out there who likes it, but
Yeah.
it's true. I mean, you've done very well. You have a community here of people who clearly love what you do, who are like you. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it's nice. I've actually because of the financial things I was kind of going through, I put together like I'm gonna have to put out there that maybe I'm gonna be willing to do some commission work
yeah.
to make a few bucks. So I was kind of chatting with some friends about like I guess a couple of professionals and like how do you guys go about like deciding like how do you what do you charge? What kind of rate? How do you determine what that is? Because I've never really done that, put it out there like, hey, I'll take commissions, but I'm just gonna give it a go here shortly and see if I can't pick up a couple and try to make a few extra dollars to kind of help ease the financial shit that keeps coming up. And we'll see,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Just doing like comic book style stuff, like
I don't want to say anything, but people can see the way that I do draw and what I do and be
so
interested,
this art right here is for sale if you want to buy this piece that
right?
he's doing right now.
Right?
You can own a piece that was done on a live.
Right. I actually keep thinking I need to open up like an Etsy shop. I've been told this many times. And I could just take a bunch of these drawings and just kind of put them up there. And rather than they just sit here next to me for the next however many years until I die, maybe they could go to somebody that might want them.
That would be cool. You should. Maybe I'll have you do something, pay you to do something for my new art studio.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Um, someone's saying, "Hi, Rob and Jess. Hello, all in chat. Doing dishes, so I may be late to reply." Okay. Always get the money up front for commissions. Boy, don't I know it. Don't I know that.
I've always had kind of a like a maybe half down. Like I'm not going to start doing this artwork without some money in hand. That's kind of what I've always had in mind.
I have not always has this happened to me. So I got to be clear. Like I have had people pay me and I haven't done that much. So I guess it's like, well, stop complaining. You've had very little experience in it. But um, there have been a few that I've bought the supplies for, specifically sized canvases and things. And then they just,
Right.
oh, shoot, never mind.
Yeah. It's good to see you, someone saying. Yeah, Jet Comics says always get the money up front. So yeah, for sure. Addie says I call it starving artist, and that's why I'm intending on doing two artistic things professionally.
Hmm. Type of things we talking like what do you want to do professionally in art, Abby? I am in the midst of getting my degree to become an art teacher. But unfortunately, you have to take a lot of classes that have nothing to do with that.
It's such a damn scam with the school. Like, why do you have to take classes that have nothing to do with it?
I hate it. But you know what? You know what? I guess it is what it is. I guess I learned something, supposedly. Learn something.
Your kids and husband just off in another room.
Yeah, yeah. Off hanging up upstairs somewhere. I'll have to go pick up some fireworks in a little bit. That was the plan anyway. Whether they do it, I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. I told my husband I am not the biggest fan of fireworks, and he told me I am very un-American. So
I'm gonna have to just go ahead and just agree with your husband on that one.
okay, okay.
Not like colorful, flamey, explodey awesomeness.
Okay. So here's why.
Yeah.
Because every year when we do fireworks, it actually really upsets, and this is going to sound so dumb, my cat. And when I was growing up, fireworks always upset our animals that I had. And I don't know. I just hate having the stress of, is my cat going to run away, not come back? Is he stressed out? And I know it's a cat, but
Oh, it's your pet. I get that.
but between him and my dog, and I've had some dogs that are really, really, really upsets them. Um, I've seen some supposed studies on like wildlife and some of the stuff. I don't know. It's not my favorite, simply because I don't also like to be kept up all night because I don't celebrate into the midnights. Um, and my kids are trying to sleep, and then on top of it, I feel like it. Oh, Addie, imagine three German shepherds. Exactly. Um, so I don't know. Anyway, they're not my favorite. I know it's un-American. I know.
I get it. That's all valid stuff.
They're just, I will go and see them if everybody wants to. If everybody really wants to see them, and then I'll go. It's not that I won't.
Have you
It's
had a
just
chance to, instead of see a fireworks show, go see a drone show? Have you seen the shit they can do with those?
okay, and I do like that. I
Right.
like that a lot.
Yeah,
I
those
have not seen one yet.
there's some crazy cool stuff they can do.
Yeah, I would like to go see one of those. I just haven't. And see, that's the thing is, I have like a baby. She's 1.5 now, but last year I didn't really want to take her out anyways. So I don't know. We'll see. We have Pioneer Day out here too, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Your
Maybe we'll try to go see our own show.
do your other boys like the fireworks?
Oh yeah, they like to set things on fire. They're kids.
Right? Young boys.
They love setting things on fire up front and getting crazy. Big fans.
I
What
seem
about your kids?
Well, I never seem to get to have them on the 4th of July. I mean, if I planned ahead, I'm sure the ex-wife would totally let me have them. But I don't, I seem to never get them. Like they're going with their mom. They're with their mom this weekend, and they're going up camping like they do every weekend during the summer with Mr. Wonderful and their awesome giant camp trailer and their awesome private owned land up
They're
in.
wonderful. Oh my gosh.
And again, if I would have like thought ahead, but I don't know that my kids give too much of a shit. Plus, I can't do fireworks where I live.
Oh yeah. Okay,
The
fair
mobile
enough.
home here, they're like it's too much of a fire hazard. If you're lighting off fireworks, you will probably just evict you from out of here. So we'd have to go get fireworks and then go somewhere. So that's not fun.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I take them to go watch a fireworks show somewhere. So we're going camping with my mom. That's fine.
Dude, I freaking love camping.
Would too if I had a place to go and supplies and that shit
That's
again.
it's expensive to camp. I don't care what anybody says. I have learned that. It does sound like Daddy's home, Mr. T. It does sound like. Have you seen that movie, Rob?
I don't think so.
Oh gosh, it's Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. It is great. There's also a Daddy's Home too. Not as funny, but still noteworthy. Um, but I don't know, you would probably think it was funny. No, camping's expensive. I have learned that the hard way. Is I thought that it would be a really cheap thing instead of taking my kids on crazy extravagant, vacations. Oh, you know what? We'll just go camping. Yeah, it's expensive and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Still love it,
Oh,
but
so is the payoff worth the effort and the money? Like when you're up there and you're just kind of chilling, is it you're like, all right, it's all worth it.
yeah, I would say so.
You,
It's just I feel like on the day, so we have a camper. So we have like a 24-foot camper, and or maybe it's 22. I don't know. It's something like that. So we haul that. So we fill it with like the clothes and the stuff and all those things you need. And we have like a generator and everything. And we spent a lot of money. Like we literally bought a different car. We traded in my favorite car so we could haul this thing. And so we get a car that we can haul this thing, right? And so I feel like the day that we're getting ready or the day before we're getting ready for our camp trip, nobody's pleased. We're all fighting. And so I'm like, why are we even doing this? It's so stressful getting everything together. And what if I forget something and I'm in the mountains and I need it? And I don't know.
right. Yeah, I used to, get to go. I was married. A great place to go with her family and everything. It was like the greatest tucked away spot in the history of ever. And Oh, I was just mad I haven't been since because again, I got nowhere to go and none of the supplies and just sometime in the future, there's time.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, my pain is bleeding. No. You son of a gun. It's fine. I'll fix it. Nobody needs to mention that. I know. I see it. Uh, Addie says I also watched the first episode of Star Trek, the old one. I actually love it. Are we talking like 60s Star Trek? I got halfway through, and Spock is my favorite so far.
Spock is everyone's favorite.
I loved Spock as a kid. My sister had a crush on Spock. I liked Captain Kirk, and we used to pretend they were our boyfriend. It's a good show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a reason it's a classic.
And then I had a crush on Data. I don't know what I have weird problems. I don't know.
You like cold, motionless vampire like things.
Yeah. Machines. Yes, 60s. Yes, for sure. Okay. That's pretty cool. I love that one too. I watched that series simply just because my dad and I used to watch it together. And I remember I knew I would be so excited if he said, "You know what? You can stay up tonight and watch Star Trek with me." And it was always that version.
Oh,
And it was so fun. I just got so excited about it.
yeah.
I'd always wonder what planet they were going to land on in this one.
I watched a guy talk about it. He's like, if you think about it, the original show in a lot of ways, in a lot of episodes, it's kind of like a science fiction horror show. They land on a planet and some really fucked up stuff happens to them.
Oh, for sure. I used to love the episode Spock's Brain. That was kind of like that. I mean, they make it, humorous in parts and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's pretty like morbid.
Yeah. Well, Addie, if you keep watching the original series and you get several episodes in and you like them, watch the movies, all six of them. They're all worthwhile. Some are obviously a little better than the others, but if you like that crew and you like that show, the theatrical movies are fantastic and you will love them even more.
Hmm. I feel like every time we talk about Star Trek, Deep Space Nine is great. Steven says, Addie, wait till you graduate to Deep Space Nine. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
That's my
Um, that one reminds me of my uncle Eric, who sadly passed away. And instead of watching because he used to always have it on, Deep Space Nine, always on in the kitchen at their house. And when he passed away, they did like a virtual ceremony because it was during COVID. I didn't go. Instead, I just spent the whole day watching Deep Space Nine. I was like, he would probably rather this.
aw.
Next, including the one with the crossover between classics and next generation.
And the only one
Oh, I
that
think he's
the
asking
movie.
you. I think he's asking you about that movie. Sorry.
Yeah, that movie with the Next Generation crew and Kirk was like, yeah, it was okay.
I don't remember it, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I ever even saw it.
Of course you did. Star Trek Generations, where Picard and Kirk met. They rode horses and shit.
Oh my gosh, yes, I have seen that. Never mind. Took me a second there. None of this new crap. I hate the Kelvin universe trash, Mr. D-Man says. Yeah, I haven't been able to get into any of them. Except for I watched what was the last season of Picard or something that you told me to watch.
Did you
And I don't
actually
even know
all the way
I don't
through
know
it?
if I ever finished it. I don't think I ever finished that.
You never did because I was going to punch you in the face if you did, and we never got to talk about it because all I wanted to do was talk about it, and you never finished it.
I'm staying up all the time now
Uh,
because my kid is, my youngest, she does not like to sleep. And now I'm like, Jess, what were you doing not watching this the whole time? I'm always let down to you. I still haven't read all your book. I started it, got it down.
we've been a year.
I know.
It's all right.
I know. I'm the worst. Hmm.
Hiccup. Oh, hiccup again.
What?
Hiccuping in over here. I got the hiccups.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
I need to get out of.
If Spock gets killed off because that seems to happen to good characters a lot, I'm doomed. Oh, thank you, Steven. Or Steven. Steve, sorry. I know, you told me just to call you Steve. And you honored him like the Klingon ceremony by watching Deep Space Nine. I did. Thanks, Addie. Honestly, it's okay. It was years ago, but yes, it was obviously very sad at the time. But in fact, when I was about, I think, 10, I helped him build an enterprise. Like he did models, and I helped him build one. And he had some Star Wars ships, and he had a Star Destroyer, and I loved that thing. I loved it. But he had taken so much time to build it, and it was hanging in the corner of his model room. And then when I became maybe like a teenager, I remember one day I went over to their house, to him, my aunt's house, and he had it down. He gave it to me, and I still have it.
You still got it to this day?
Yep. It's packed away right now. I haven't hung it up in a long time. I should get it out. It sadly, it's definitely not in as good condition as it was when he gave it to me, but it used to hang in my kids' rooms.
Yeah, I tried to do like put together plastic models
Mhm.
when I was younger because I loved the Star Trek stuff, and all I wanted was like some replicas of the spaceship so I could just have the toys and hold them and look at them and play with them and whatever. And so I finally got my hands on some plastic model kits, and boy, did I not know what I was getting into. I had no idea what these things were like. These the delicate little trimming of all the like you got to take them off the little frames they come in. The stickers are so
Mhm.
full. And I got this giant one of the Enterprise from the movies, and it was so poorly designed. It ended up looking like the model, the plastic model itself was such a hunk of garbage. I got really frustrated. Now,
I mean, I'll be honest, they seem like they would take so much patience.
yeah,
And I don't remember too well, but I just
now you're kind of spoiled.
I was starting over with something new, huh?
Yeah, I basically took that drawing as far as it could go. So without like inking it or something, I didn't want to do that. But so sketch number two. in the queue,
We really just killing it here.
and I'm just sketching, and I do tend to work pretty fast, so I just
I know, you do.
and for the last more than a year, I'm like, I got to take all these sketches we talked about, like, we'll print up a sketchbook of our live stream drawing. That's still something I think about. I still have all
I know.
that
True.
you brought over that.
I gave you some of the ones that we've done already. I don't know if you saw that or
Well,
know if you cared even.
no.
Uh,
Addie, you're
that
upset they took Dracula off YouTube. She says the good version, which I think she means like the original, like trying to think of the actor who did that like original classic version of Dracula.
I don't know.
You'd know it if you heard it. Somebody will chime in.
Yeah.
Not the Nosferatu one, but that other Bela Lugosi, I think. Is that what I'm thinking of?
It sounds right, but again, I am the worst for that, and I'll admit it. I don't know. I am the best. I need my water really. Those colors over here. Um, Most model people avoid using included stickers. They either paint those details or use water slides. Oh, on the models.
Yeah,
Duh. That's what you're saying. Okay.
I
Got
could
it. Roll.
possibly paint on the details accurately like that. Once I kind of figured it out, I kind of got the hang of it when I was doing it, but I discovered like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm not into making models. I didn't want to make models. I wanted replicas of the ships. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So that's why I did the models. And now you're kind of spoiled because you can find anything anywhere. There's all kinds of replicas of stuff. So
Yeah.
I've got tons of them now. So now I don't give a fuck.
Now you're
Why
like,
would I spend this time
all
putting up a model? The
I don't
plastic,
want to do any work because I'm an adult and I got some money.
right?
Yup.
Oh,
Look
it's
at this.
actually a genius idea. I didn't think of that. Like, take the drawing that I did and then do another drawing, but it's like as if you're flipped like behind it and seeing it from the reverse angle.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good idea.
I was if that was a good idea. I'm not gonna do it now because I'm in something else, but that's it. I could always do that um later. At a,
You really should.
now I'm not gonna because you want me to. Now I'm not gonna.
You know what? You're a rat like that. I'm wrong. Whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm going to do the opposite of.
I'm a
Just kidding. I don't think you really do that.
I'm
That actually doesn't sound like you.
you're like I can't back that up. That's not you.
I'm just making stuff up now. Oh, man. Problem is a lot of my paints aren't open because I got new ones, but they're kind of a pain to open. And so I'm sitting here just wondering if I'm going to end up with paint all over me and if it's worth it. to pull these little plastic pieces out, but I'm gonna do it, I guess. And I want to use my teeth, but then I know I'll just end up with paint in my mouth. This is a
When you get to the part where you're going to add the old timey dots, how do you think you're going to go about doing that?
oh, I'm not doing that.
Oh, you're not going to try and make that effect?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I thought that was kind of like your whole, well, one of the, like, I love the way those dots look. So I wanted to reproduce that.
I do love the way they look, but I don't know how I do it, and I think I'd frustrate myself. So if I was doing it that way, everything was a very solid color. Like her lips were one color, and then she had like the shading was a different color on them, but nothing was blended. You know what? You know that style,
Oh, yeah.
and so I would have done that, but I that's why I'm doing it this way because I'm just making it to my own.
I gotcha.
I have no patience for that. What little time I'll probably spend on this after this night. Unless maybe I'll just make this my thing I work on for the next month if we do more lives.
Oh, someone's saying, still ragging on me because I haven't watched and I refuse to watch Stranger Things.
You are a butt. And you
I,
know that's one of those things you won't do, even though you'd be happy you'd done it. So, boo.
boo on me. I know.
Boo on. It really is a classic show.
God, even the actors want to be done with it.
Well, that's fair. I mean, they really are. They need to get a move on with it. But the show itself is
I,
really good.
I know. I know. I'm not saying that. That is funny.
You are being a butt.
I am a butt face.
Just a minute.
Steven, I watched part of season one, but it I was watching it when my marriage was just falling apart, and so I couldn't pay attention to it. And the ex-wife wasn't interested, and I was in a really like bad place, so I shut it off, and then I just never went back. So yeah, I
Not a
did
good
try,
excuse. Not allowing that to be your excuse anymore.
but to be fair, the parts I did watch still didn't hold my attention. I was like, I do not see the appeal. Like it was fine. I didn't hate it. I'm just like, all right, this is cute, whatever. It didn't hold my attention. It's kind of like Game of Thrones. Everyone's like, oh my God, you got to watch it. I watched all of season one of Game of Thrones and I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I do not give a shit. This is not interesting to me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it does not hold my attention. And I gave it an entire full watch season and I was like, I'm done.
You probably did yourself a favor. I read the books and I still don't know what they did. So
Yeah. And then it went off the rails at the end. And
they went way off the rails. They went off the hinges. They went nuts. They did some crazy stuff. They did what Hollywood does, and you can't just have a good story. You can't just end it the way it should be ended. You can't just give the people what they want. You got to do something stupid.
to be fair, as I understand it, it was good when they had material to draw from, but eventually they ran out of the books. So then they
Yep.
started making it up. And if I understand correctly, that's when they screwed it up. And
Yes. You
so,
understand correctly.
yeah. And you were saying, like, well, if they have a good story, at least they did for, at least you got a couple of good seasons. No.
Um, so I would say up to season 5, in my opinion, kick ass show. kick ass. After that, it started to kind of, okay, I'm seeing it. And again, I had read at that point, I think three of the books. I own them all, but that doesn't mean I've read them. Um, but I remember feeling like I started to see maybe them go off script even then. And I don't know. I think I don't want to give anything away. I know it's a long time since the show's been out, but there is a part that the books end at for one character's story. They went way beyond. And so you kind of knew they were going to do that. So I don't know. I don't know. Not kind of I don't know. Kind of me I got worried at that point and for good reason. So
Yeah. What's a show that you've seen besides Star Trek where you got into it, loved it from the start, and it maintained its awesomeness all the way to the end?
hmm. Hmm. What's a show I've seen? Loved it from the I mean, for me, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You asked the question. But I know there's more. I just gotta think here. I feel like I can't even think right now.
Yeah. Breaking Bad for me.
Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I've never finished Breaking Bad.
Yeah. It just maintain like, and every show's gonna have like maybe a season here is not quite as good as some of the others, but it just never fell off the face of the planet, and it just was riveting pretty much the entire time. And that's one of those that I was like, all right.
I feel like I can't think of any shows I've watched. Like for some reason, it's all going away. I can't think of anything.
Uh,
Um,
Battlestar Galactica, the remake, is one of my absolute favorites ever.
I've never seen that.
Firefly,
I have seen Firefly.
yeah, that one. I mean, it only got like
Hey,
one
Mary, thank
season.
Steve says, just Game of Thrones is nothing on the books. Case in point, after a red wedding, it's Caitlin Stark who comes back from the grave to avenge her family.
Oh, really? Yeah. Didn't know that. Both into Shogun until the ending, which didn't exactly ruin it, but it wasn't quite the best.
Yeah, what was that?
In retrospect, I don't hate it. It just kind of wasn't what I was expecting, but
Yeah,
it
same.
didn't ruin it. It just was a little bit like, huh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's kind of what my thinking on it is too. I don't feel like it ruined it necessarily, but I really expected more. And it kind of let me down because I was hyped. That was, I don't know. Maybe I just like violence. I don't know, but I didn't get my violence. So, man, why can't I think of shows that I love? I don't know.
Oh yeah, someone said he mentions Dexter. I watched that. I enjoyed
Oh
it
yeah.
the entire way through. I enjoyed that, including also Sons of Anarchy. I was way into that
Oh,
one.
I love Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a good one.
yeah. It's been a minute since that show was on. You kind of forget about it. Like, oh, that thing.
Yeah, love me some Jax. I'm gonna make this in the picture. She was a blonde. I'm making her brunette because why not?
That's my preference.
Uh, I think here. This is really gonna drive me nuts that I can't think of any like I can't think of anything. Oh, you know what's a show? Well, I guess there's only one season right now, and I've probably got the wrong audience here. But I have watched this one season that's out. The newest season comes out in October. It just makes me happy. I feel like this is a show you can watch when you're in a bad
What
mood,
is it?
and
I'm sorry, I missed it. What is it?
it's called Nobody Wants This, and it's on Netflix, and I laugh my ass off every time. And it's a romantic comedy show, but the characters are just great in this show. They did one season and it had such an overwhelming, like it just did so well. They've got the next season coming out in October, but I can watch the entire season in one night easy. And I've done it a few times. It
I'm going
just
to
makes
remember that. I'm sorry. Tell me one more time what it's called. I'm going to write it down.
it's called Nobody Wants This. And what it's about is it's got Kristen Bell and her sister have a podcast and it's a specific adult type podcast and they're discussing dates and these things that have happened on dates and that's their job, but she ends up meeting and falling in love with a rabbi, and it sounds so crazy but it is such a good show. I love it. Mr. Demon, nobody wants this. That pretty much sums up entertainment in the 2025.
I
Oh,
know,
that's hilarious.
but whenever you get a chance to watch that movie, Sinners, I think you'll like that if you haven't had a chance yet.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
Yeah,
I'm not. I actually kind of forgot about it. I'm just gonna be real.
it's it was really good.
You know what show I used to love and then it died off for me was The Walking Dead.
I was way into it too. Yes. That's kind of another one of those things that I was watching it and even my wife at the time was into it, but I think again, that the impending, falling apart of a marriage and divorce, it become one of those things I couldn't catch anymore. And so I always intended to go back to it because it didn't get to a point where it was bad and I wasn't liking it. I didn't have any opportunities to watch it because life sucked. And I always intended, like, well, I could just go back and I'll just start from the beginning and just start watching it again. And I never have. And the more time passes, the more I'm like, one of these days. But so it actually fell off for you. It wasn't that interesting.
I ended up calling it The Talking Dead, which is a real show they had following The Walking Dead, if you remember, for a
Right.
while.
Yeah.
But it to me became. I felt like I don't know. Maybe I like violence. I just felt like there was enough action in it, and I don't know. I again, obviously characters die and things happen, and I just was like, eh, didn't feel like they were going anywhere. Nothing was ever gonna happen, so I just kind of was done with it. But I loved it. I remember when it first came out, I was obsessed with
Oh,
it.
yeah. It was a cultural thing. It was a big deal. It was really, really good.
Yeah, loved that. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Why is my? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's right. Yeah, someone saying says, I love The Walking Dead up until Negan. They just dragged that arc out, and there wasn't enough of a payoff seeing him unalive. Well, if you ever watch it again, now you know. Um, yeah, same. I think that's about when I started really struggling to keep going with the show, and I actually think that's kind of where a lot of people lost it too.
See, I've read the comics and I know kind of about the Negan character and all that stuff. And then he was like a monster. And I do believe, if I remember the comics correctly, that they ended up killing his ass off. But it seems like, from what I understood in the show, they ended up kind of like he become like a regular reoccurring character. I'm like, how does somebody that's that horrible become like a regular? Because if he's a regular character, in a way, you have to like him.
Okay, so here's the thing. That's what I feel like they did. I feel like they took somebody I feel like who did some unforgivable stuff, and this is my opinion. I know there are people out that like him. And I was like, dude, I can't like him. I can't do it.
Yeah,
And maybe that's why I stopped watching. I don't know. Because I do know people, they like him. I don't know.
I like the actor.
Well,
But
yeah, yeah, super good.
so again, it's one
Yep.
of those like I'll get back to it one of these days, and maybe when I'm old and dying and I can't do anything but sit around and shit myself and reminisce about the good old days, I'll like let me try Walking Dead again.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I feel like what happens is there's so much potential in these shows, and then for whatever reason, it's they, in my opinion, they just kind of jinx it, or they do something stupid. They can't just, and I don't know if it's the writers trying to be creative and they just can't get it right. But
I get this feeling oftentimes that sometimes these shows start and they want to do good, they try to do good, they feel like they do pretty good, but there's no kind of expectation because they're not successful. But then, so they're just kind of like doing whatever. Like we might only have one season, so just go crazy. But then when the show becomes popular, now there's expectation to reach those levels of awesomeness that they kind of maybe they weren't expecting themselves to do. So then they start overthinking it or panicking or freaking out, and they just cannot match the level now that the pressure's on to maintain that awesome level. Does that make sense?
I agree. It's almost like overcorrecting too much.
There's that. And I also sometimes think that in terms of writing stories, setup is a lot easier than payoff. Like
Yeah,
it's easy to set things up and introduce things and potential plot lines and stories and ideas. But then the payoff becomes, well, now you got to pay it off. I hope you know where you're going. And a lot of times these people,
true.
they don't know where they're going.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot. I think you're right. One show that I am interested to see, I don't even know if I'm gonna like the next season, is Severance. I don't know if anybody's watched Severance or not. Um, I feel like if you watched Severance, I don't know if you watched it or not. It's pretty popular, but I don't know.
I've
Um,
heard, but I don't know anything about it.
okay, I won't give anything away. It's a really good show. The idea behind it's really good. I think um, it's Ben Stiller is one of the writers. I think he created actually maybe the sold the the biggest creator of it. I can't remember. But the problem I have with that show is it's called Severance, Sheldon. But the problem I have is I feel like they use a lot of filler episodes in the seasons, and it makes me feel like there's not that much material to what's left of the story.
Right.
That, and I know they're not calling them fillers, but I can tell they're filler episodes. Like, did you really need a whole episode to tell that person side character story? No. So it makes me wonder like how that's gonna go because I feel like last season was a lot of fillers. Whereas I felt like the first one wasn't, and I'm like, do they know where they're going with it? I hope.
Probably not.
But I mean it's like it seems like at the end they might have an idea. I don't know. I don't know. He says filler episodes is why I couldn't stand some animes I watched. Fair enough.
Yeah, Steven says Severance is one episode sliced into eight. That's interesting. That's a funny way to put it because it kind of goes along with what you were just saying.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Like you could tell that entire story that you're using multiple episodes to tell easily. So I don't know. We'll see what happens to that. I feel like how I promise. Um, we'll see. What I most anticipated shows for when the second season come out is The Jackal, Day of the Jackal. That is just
Get that
an
one.
huh.
You've mentioned that one before. That sounds familiar.
I did some art on here. I seriously like that movie. That show is just
Oh, maybe that's what
awesome.
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
All right, Addie, she says, well, I've got to go eat. Lovely stopping by. Nice to meet you guys. Well, nice to meet you too, Addie. Like, you are very fun to talk to.
See, I
Thanks
told
for
you.
chatting up. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Have a good meal. What time is it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited for that. I really wish you'd watch that one because I think you'd like it. um, Truthfully, Mr. D Man, I feel like the first season wouldn't bore you. It, to me, it definitely has a lot of those, again, atomic era vibes to it. I like the aesthetic of it. It is you very mysterious. I think it keeps you guessing. I mean, I was watching it as they were coming out, and well, I didn't watch it as it was coming out. I was about halfway through the season when I started watching it. My husband and I watched the entire like first 4 episodes in one day, and we couldn't wait for the next one. But then this time around, I felt like I could take it or leave it some days. Another one that I fell off, I just didn't end up finishing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched this one or not. Is Silo?
No, no idea what that is.
These, to be fair, this one's also another. Well, I think they have them Prime, but what did it say? Mr. Demon, the only thing I like that takes place in an office is Office Space. Okay, that's a funny movie. That was another Apple TV one, kind of like Severance. It started out as, but you can watch it on Prime. Um, but that one, I feel like again they're using a lot of filler episodes. Like you don't need all these episodes that tell the story, and it feels like you just don't know where you're going with it. And they have books. So that's really disturbing because it was a book first.
They have books, and that's disturbing.
It is. Fallout. You know, it's good to be a gangster. Silo is adult Fallout. I don't know. I feel like a Fallout is adult Fallout. Like the show Fallout, or I don't know. I mean, it's very similar vibes, yes. Another show I never finished. I did like this one show I was watching called Hello Tomorrow, though. I don't know if anybody's watched it on here about it again, atomic age, definitely vibes about a salesman who's selling land on the moon to people. But you kind of wonder if if it's a real or if it's a scam type of thing.
Yeah, you keep mentioning all these shows. I'm like, I've never heard of these, but I'm kind of tuned out from modern TV anyway. There's very few modern things that I catch anymore anyway.
That's fair. I'm the worst. I spend a lot of time rewatching The Office and just
So good.
and stuff like
It's
that.
so easy to watch. I love it.
I can watch The Office and watch it over. I'm always in a state of watching it. I'm in some.
It's easy just to put on in the background, and because you've seen them so much, you don't need to pay attention, but you can kind of listen and you kind of get the gist of what's going on, and you laugh at the jokes, and it's great.
And they have the um super fan episodes where they slowly are releasing new content. So it's fun because you're like, wait a second, I never saw that scene before.
What is it? What do you mean by releasing new content, like cut scenes?
Yeah, they're new cutscene, or not new cutscenes, but they're cut scenes. And I think it's every year they release a new season that has cutscenes or something like that.
Really? Never heard of that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's on Peacock. You instead of watching just the regular ones, you watch the super fan episodes, and they're instead of the episodes being 30 minutes, they're like an hour and 30 minutes.
okay, that actually sounds familiar now that you say that. You may have mentioned that to me and I just forgot.
That sounds like most things I mentioned
It
to you. He's like, okay, Addie's gone to eat. Now I can
now
say
to bring up
things.
the end of the conversation.
Mr. D-Man says, I came up with an idea for a show like Fallout back in 2005 called Welcome to Megatown. It was a retro futuristic show about a city built over a nuclear testing site in Nevada. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at all these good ideas. Steven also had an idea for a show about a post nuclear fallout. It would be real cheap because we wouldn't cast anyone. We would just film the empty desert each episode.
That-
Oh, you got me with that one. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was really good. That's hilarious. What was that show that was on HBO? The Western one, but it had robots.
Westworld?
Westworld, yes. I never finished
That
that one
show where
either.
the world was set in the West. What was it called?
Yeah, what the hell was that called? I never finished that one either.
I my understanding is that the first season was like amazing, and then it fell right the fuck off the edge of the planet, like season two and on. That's what I've heard. I
Yep.
can't say that from personal experience.
I could see that. I remember watching. I thought it had potential, but there were some things that were like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not.
I don't know if it's based on a book. I'm sure it probably is, but there was a movie back in the I don't know, maybe late '70s or early '80s or something like that. My mom used to love it, called
Oh.
Westworld. That's kind of where that's where I know it from. Because yeah, it's like these people go to this like attraction,
Uh huh.
and there's It's old cowboy world, and you can shoot the cowboys and shit, but then the robots start becoming self-aware and shit. And I'm like, this has got a lot of neat potential. It sounds really interesting, and I've always wanted to check that one out. Just again, I come home, and I kind of just fart around on YouTube and watch some different YouTube channels, and then I kind of doze off and nap for a minute, and then I come in here. This is where I spend all my time. So I watch a lot of TV.
I mean, that's probably okay. I don't know that a lot of TV watching is, this is probably a better use of your time. Now, do I watch a lot of TV? I do. Again, I know it's like, well, you couldn't think of any TV shows. I know.
One way to start mentioning TV shows, once you start thinking about it, you're like, I like this and I like this and I like that.
I'm trying to think of ones though that's like, oh, I watch this one a lot, but a lot of it's just if I'm rewatching it, like Star Trek. Okay, like I'll get back into those every once in a while, or I don't know, but I'm trying to think of stuff that's like, oh, I want to rewatch this, and it's usually just sitcoms.
Yeah.
Your mom's an animated show. Oh God, apologies. Oh, the old your mom jokes are coming out now.
Hell yeah.
I gotta find some idea. I hate having to mix the old skin tone. It's my least favorite part. Did you draw that whole thing?
Fuck no. This isn't. You really don't look at
Oh,
Instagram anymore, do you? Because I've been posting this for weeks.
oh, you know what? In order for me to stay focused on school, I actually stopped using Instagram
I could
a
kind
while.
of, and I get it. This is something I've been working on separate. I kind of finished those other two drawings. So I'm kind of doing little touch ups on this thing. I mean, yeah, I drew this whole thing right here while we were talking. You missed it.
I was like, holy crap. I couldn't even, I said, what in the heck is wrong with me? I am just slow. Dang. And then that would be impressive. But,
I ain't that good.
you are impressive. So,
That's what I like to hear.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to mix colors.
MR, dude, I could have totally blown her mind. I should have said, like, yeah, I've been working on this the whole time. What are you talking about?
Because I don't pay attention as much. I'm short, so I can't see my phone. And I'm looking at the chat over here on mine, so I'm not paying attention. Yeah, I was like, holy, that is
Are you
wild.
me?
Should have just let me believe it.
I should have. I'm not good at like pranking people. I don't like to do that. Even when it's the perfect setup. I'm not a prankster. Or if I do, I'll let you believe it for like 2 seconds and then I undo it instantly.
That's funny. I'm not good because I can't keep a straight face. I can't. It's not because I don't like doing it. It's just I'm not good at it. How am I gonna do this? MR, I love the nose and lips on your drawing. Noses are friggin' hard to do, man. That's fair.
Yeah, noses are hard. So are eyes, and so are mouths. So is hair. So is a
Was
jawline.
so is hands and feet.
all a pain in the ass.
I don't know. This is kind of the original color. I don't know if it's too peachy or not. I might start with this and then do some. This almost looks too salmon to me, but we're gonna go with it for now.
Do it.
I can't decide if I want to keep going with this or not.
Do you guys have a time where you might be relocating across the country?
So probably end of August,
That's
but what'd you say?
really soon.
You know, that's I don't know. I hate to say that because I just don't know. The house isn't done yet, so we'll see.
Right, I get you, but still, that's just a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see with it how things go down. I'll keep you posted once I know for sure. But they believe they will have it done by then, supposedly. However, they seem to not be very quick about it. So
Uh,
I guess building a house might be, a lot of work. I don't know. That girl with the braids is my favorite, Miss Demon says. Which one is this? Rob, can you please show us the girl with the braids?
right there.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So,
Oh, gosh. Yeah, she's the biggest face on there. How did I not realize that was her?
well, it's kind of off in the corner, but yeah, the comic book's got the girl with the braids in it. Like there she is, right there. See, look at those big braids and that ridiculous outfit she's wearing.
Let's see here. Oh, hello.
Hello.
What do we got here?
You like to know. I took this comic in a very adult direction. I can't wait for you to read it because I don't because again you haven't seen any of the stuff that I've done, so it'll be all a surprise to you. So once you kind of get your hands on it, you'll be like, Rob, why am I friends with you? Why would I be friends
I probably will. I'll be like, okay, now we need to have a talk because
evaluating?
you know that you're not a 14-year-old boy anymore, right?
But that's exactly why I'm doing this because I'm a 14-year-old boy at heart. Steve is tell her about the explosive ending. There is an explosive ending. The way that uh, the hero resolves his dilemma with his psycho ex girlfriend that chopped his dick off. It's uh, it's something.
Rob's saying it like he didn't write it.
Oh, I wrote the shit out of this. Yes, I did.
It's something. Oh, I don't like this. I'm getting angry with myself.
You're so angry.
I don't want to hear about the explosive ending because I want to read the explosive ending. I think.
Oh, you will.
And I will have to roll my eyes, I'm sure.
Best sales pitch ever. Quote, it's something. It definitely is something.
He's like, I know what I have.
I know my value.
Yeah, like Dwight. I know my worth. 7% 6. I know my worth. I will fix this. I know I will fix this skin tone. I'm going to put all this on as a base and then I will fix it.
Talking like we're all judging you, which we are.
I I'm judging myself. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? Why can't you do this correctly? I don't know. I don't know. I can't find all my colors I want. Don't know where they went. La da da da.
Surprised we haven't heard your kids coming down looking for attention or something like that. Are your little girl screaming for you?
They don't care about me anymore. They got to spend a whole week with dad. Well, I actually took my daughter with me because,
Oh, you did take your little girl with you?
yeah, I did. I took her with me, but the boys, they all stayed home with dad, and so they don't even care about me anymore. They said, oh,
We got to sit around and eat pizza and watch stupid cartoons and burp and fart and scratch ourselves, and we had a great time, Mom.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. He told me he was gonna make them all clean the house. Do you know that video? The "You are my elite employees." You seen that one?
Oh, I don't think so.
Huh, you don't think so?
I don't. Doesn't sound familiar.
You haven't seen the video of the lady? She's like telling the one guy that he needs to do some shit work. I forget it was, but that she doesn't have somebody to do it, or she fired the last person, and then she's like, "So now you're promoted. You are one of my elite employees," and she's laughing.
I no, I don't. That
Oh,
doesn't.
okay. I'm gonna send it to you. It's super funny. It's really like people have done so many. I don't know. Anyway, he says that to the kids all the time, and that's what he said to them. Like, "Oh, we're gonna clean this house so spick and span." Yeah, that's okay. They had a fun time, even if that did not happen. I, on the other hand, am not excited to do that trip again in the car
When do you got to do that again? Like,
when I move.
well, that's well, that would be one trip, one way. It's still not fun.
Yeah, it's true. Yo, Rob, Mr. D-Man says, who are those guys? They're badass.
These are just. If I assume he's talking about this, these are just some monster characters of my own creation for an entirely different comic that I might work into some other comics in the future. Because what else am I going to do with them?
I don't know. But they are cool looking. I agree. Very, very cool looking. Oh gosh, that was too much red in that one. Holy crap. I know. I know.
I was about to ask you if you don't like test your pigments somewhere else
Mm,
to apply it to the final drawing?
that would be the smart thing to do. And I'm just, first off, this is mostly packed up, this room is, because my mother in law is actually moving into this room for a little bit. Because she needs a place to stay until she gets her virtual. Anyway, it's a long story. So I started packing up my art supplies. So I don't have everything out, which is why I don't have the colors I need for the skin tone. Sheldon, these are acrylics, yes. and they're cheap ones. As I walked into my dad's art area, and he had the expensive, like, $12 tubes of paint. I was like, "Wow, dad."
Yeah, yeah, showing off.
He's like, "What do you use?" I was like, you know the little bottles you get from Walmart?
They're
That's what
like
I use."
$1 a piece.
He's like, "What?" Kinda like, "Oh gosh, like, I am ashamed to call you my daughter."
I was gonna say, like, you're not my daughter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? Anyway, so I don't have all of my stuff out right now. And I would usually have, extra scrap paper and stuff. I'm just not very well set up right now.
Understandable.
She's gonna stay here for a few weeks, um, till she gets a different place. So or till she can move out to her other place. I mean, so it's kind of it's not my fault.
I don't think anyone was blaming you, but now I feel like I need to.
I felt the blame, but yes, that would be the smart thing to do is to test it all out ahead of time, and I never claimed to be smart.
You can always paint right over a thing if you needed to. So I know that's not the goal. Like you don't want to have to do that. But
Yeah.
hey, it's
Uh,
Ginger Bear. Yeah, Chud Clown. That's right. Because I titled this thing. You probably didn't see it. I said "Hot Girl and Chud Clown are drawing."
what did you title it?
Titled this video "Hot Girl and Chud Clown are drawing."
Oh my gosh. You were
I kind of
that's
forgot that I did that until they just mentioned it. I was like,
I hadn't even noticed.
yeah, like I did do that.
Like, oh yeah, that was me. I'm so funny.
Yeah, I'm hilarious.
Uh, I forgot about how clever I am.
Women love me and men want to be me.
Exactly. So true.
Jess, you remember, Ginger Bear, right? In the chat now?
I have chatted with Gingerberry before.
Okay.
I have indeed. Really good name too. Solid.
Solid. Memorable.
Yes, I like it.
It's a name that we remembered through history.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
MR says the title reeled me in. Then I saw Rob Norton. I was like, hold on, let me think about this.
The title reel. Let me see if I can figure out. Is that the actual?
Gingerbread says, I'm not a chud, but I have no soul being a ginger and all.
I was gonna ask if that is what the name. You're a ginger.
It's a soulless creation. Look upon God's mistake.
Oh my gosh. My brother-in-law, a very, very, very fiery ginger, um, tells me of a time in high school where they had Kick a Ginger Day. I don't think it was sanctioned by the school.
I would imagine not.
I thought that's terrible.
But it's also funny.
I suppose. Lots of gingers in my family. So I can't can't agree with it. Yeah, that was going for a while. I think also because of South Park after my grades. Oh, was it a South Park thing? I didn't know.
I remember South Park did a thing about like gingers not having a soul too. That sounds like something they would do.
Yeah, it does. Old South Park. Oh, those guys over there at South Park.
They're brilliant.
Maybe too brilliant for their own good sometimes.
Wants to explain what a chud clown is. Chud is just a term of a fucking ugly dude, and then a clown is just, a clown. Something we all point at and laugh at.
Wow, Rob, this is really degrading.
Well,
Unless you're the hot girl in the title and I'm the chud clown.
I didn't want to have to say it so bluntly, but I figured you'd piece it together eventually.
I am piecing it together. You know what?
I'll identify as a woman, so
Yeah, and I'm a clown. It's all making sense.
you're the chud over here. So get your act together, please.
What the?
Like, wait a minute, this really went off the rails. I was
You know what to say right now. I might have to jump off here. I think they might be going to pick up those fireworks.
gonna go with.
Oh, hello. Are you still want to come with? I can. Do you need me to go? I was just asking. Okay. Give me 2 minutes.
On a timer.
uh, I'm gonna jump off here. I think. Sounds like they might need me to go.
You could like sense a disturbance in the force. You're like, I have to
I
go.
knew it. I could hear movement, and I hadn't heard movement in so long. I was like, you know what? I bet they're getting ready to go. And then he comes down. He's like, oh, do you just want to go with us? It's because we're meeting with my son's teacher to pick them up because he sells them, and I have his number, so that's probably why.
Like, tell them to stop farting around with their silly art stuff and come pay attention to the family.
Jeez. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here.
I'm gonna wrap it up too. I'm trying to hit my limit for the night too.
All right. I mean, it's looking real good.
It's like the fourth thing I've been working on since we've been talking. But it must have the original. I think the first one I did, I'm actually kind of like the way this one come out. I feel like this one. I like that. I like that one that I did there.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks
It's
like
really
kind of birds.
she's got some nice assets there.
Yeah, she does. There's no place I would not touch her with my tongue.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that Addie's not on here.
I know, right? She'd be like, "What? I'm out of here."
Oh my gosh. Oh boy, classic.
Sheldon says, "Great art making, guys. Boobs could have been bigger, but whatever." I'm like, right? See?
Just that's just my his opinion. I mean, he. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump off. Thank you so much, guys. It was fun. Probably plan on if you want, we could do another one maybe next week.
Please, absolutely. I'm always doing this shit. I'm always available. I try not to bug you because I know you're busy and everything. So if you are available and would like to,
Yes.
just consider it an automatic yes from me.
Oh, okay. Sounds great. Yeah, I'll text you and we'll plan on it then.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. It was fun. See you later.
Yep. See ya. Oh, thank Christ she's gone. Just kidding, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna be done here too. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for joining in. Obviously, it's always fun. I miss doing those with Jess. We were doing them once a week for forever. Sometimes we are even doing twice a week. We had a long stretch for a long time of just cranking these things out, and we had a good time. So it's good to get to back to doing them again a little bit. So anyway, yeah, I'm done for the night myself. So it's been almost 2 hours. I got some stuff to do. So all right, guys. Thanks as always, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks, Ginger. You too, man. All of you, MR, Steven, D-Man, everybody. Everybody.